after how massively I was in love with my Christmas doll, I decided I wanted to do an Easter doll as well, and I wanted to use another Barbie Dream Besties. And of course, first I thought, because I still have Brooklyn laying around, that I want to use her, but then Daisy came out, and let's face it, this hair is just too perfect. So my poor Brooklyn, that already is, how do I phrase it, deprived of her tinsel, now has to wait for the next holiday. Possibly she will become the Halloween doll, or she will become this year's Christmas doll. I have to think about it. Anyway, let's stay here with Daisy Jean? Daisy May? No, Daisy Jean it was, I think. First of all, we needed a pattern. And after I did that for my 1 to 3 scale dolls, I wanted to try to use aluminium foil with a 1 to 6 scale doll as well. And because the fit is not that important for the dress I have in mind, I thought Daisy would be the perfect doll to try that on. So I put her in aluminium foil, put some masking tape on top, sketched out the lines I always draw on, so basically bust line, waistline, hip line, and then shoulder seam, side seam, and princess seam, and made my patterns from that. Yeah, with a 1 to 3 scale doll, it is okay to use aluminium foil, and I really want to try that with a human at one point. To first wrap them in aluminium foil to get a more accurate pattern. But with a 1 to 6 scale doll, yeah. If you are not so keen about the fit, it's okay, but yeah, it was a little bit too willy-nilly. Let's talk about the dress concept. Because of my most favorite game at the time, Infinity Nikki, I stumbled upon a dress, or there was a dress that has, it had a blue gingham print and some embroidery and stuff, and I thought it was very cute, and I wanted to do something similar. And then I went to Temu. I guess you can now call me the Temu doll artist or something like that, because nearly all of my dolls are now dressed by Temu stuff, which yeah. Anyway, I found a lot of stuff, and one of the things I found was lace ribbon, and I know this stuff as basically whole embroidery lace. My friend Rainbow Fine Arts informed me that it is a broderie anglaise or something like that. I think she even said embroidery anglaise, and I just tried to Google it, and it says broderie anglaise because it's French. So basically it's a mixture. You have a white cotton fabric, you are making some holes and embroidering around them so they won't fray. And that then gives you a pattern. And as questionable as Temu is, they had quite a nice variety, so I bought some. I made some stockings out of it for her, then I made the main skirt out of the gingham with a border out of a green gingham and one of this broderie anglaise stuff that was already pre-ruffled. Then Did I do anything else to the skirt? No, I don't think so. Then I gave her a top, and I decided she definitely needs puffed sleeves with this outfit, with some ribbons. When I was halfway done with the dress, I thought she looked quite like Dorothy Gale falling down a Easter rabbit hole or something like that. So, yeah. When the base dress was done with the puffed sleeves and everything, I was quite happy about it, but of course she needed an apron, because why not? And I found these little animal patches that I thought were quite adorable, and I slapped the chicken onto her. And of course she needed a big beefy bow in the back. I made that and put the bunny on it, so yay! Slap a bunch of stuff on it. That was basically my mentality while working on her. Yeah, and when the base dress was quite done and the apron and everything was decided on, I thought about sewing on some butterflies I have bought. They are sequin butterflies. But I thought it was already close to overstepping the border, so I just made a bow for her that had to go in the back. And for the first time I thought, ooh, why not put some plastic into the bow so it stays puffed up? And that worked quite nicely. I think when I do another doll that has a big beefy bow at the bottom that I want to be voluminous, I will do that again, because that was quite cool. But yeah, after all of that, I was quite happy with her outfit. So it was time to tackle the next thing I wanted to do, and obviously, she is an Easter doll. She desperately needs bunny ears. And I wanted the bunny ears to be basically as pink as her hair. So they blend in a little bit, so they might maybe give you the vague idea of them not being a headband, but being her real ears. The second pair. Don't know. But yeah, I think you know what I intended with it. So I made a wireframe and then wrapped warbler around it, and I had to heat the warbler with a candle because my friend Rainbow Fine Arts does not own a heat gun, which was interesting. I never really worked with warbler that much, so but yeah, it was an experience. When that was around it and, in my opinion, nicely fitted, I then painted it first white and then tried to paint it in a pink that was as close to the hair color as possible. Lucky for me, I had some acrylic chenille yarn that was more or less the same color as the hair. I would think it was as close as possible, and I tried it with that stuff to basically just pull that apart and flocked the ears with that. In the end I stuck some flowers on and the ears were done and cute. And because I already noticed that the clothes I made for her are more or less the same colors than her original dress, or as her original dress, I thought, why not just use her cowboy boots? But with the socks, they didn't fit anymore. So I decided to make some sandals out of cork, and that went surprisingly well. I bought some cork, carved it into shape, and then smoothed it out with a Dremel and everything. And then I first thought I want to do some warbler, the inner sole out of warbler, but that didn't work all that well, so I changed to paper, and I also stitched a little bit of the blue fabric around some paper. Yes, some paper. First I thought I glue it, but that didn't work that well, so I had to stitch it. And stuck everything together to have some sandals. And when I had my flower explosion, I did had to glue 2 roses on there as well, but gosh, they are so darn cute. I think I have to do shoes like that more often. Yeah, it was a little bit difficult because I made the straps too wide to get them to stay on their own. One of the 2 sandals is quite nicely on her foot, the other one likes to fall off again and again, as do her stockings. So, but it's okay because she will live in a box all year until Easter comes around, and then she will hop out. And I hope she will have her shoe with her. Anyway, after everything was glued together, and I have to admit it was quite tricky to glue the strap in place. I should have done it a bit different, but anyway, I was quite happy with the shoes as well. And then it was finally time to prep her for her repaint. So, removing her face with acetone, wrapping her hair up, and I still have to go out and buy some stockings and those pins, because I think that is very, very neat to do it this way and not in a hair burrito as I do it most of the time. Yeah, then I sprayed her with MSC 3 times and started the repaint. And I ended up with a very similar makeup as her original. She has green eyeshadow. The original Daisy has green eyeliner. She has some daisies around her eyes. The original Daisy has just one. So, yeah, I think they even have the same eye color. So I basically changed nothing from the coloration. I just wanted to do my own face up because I am that way. At least she can have her hair. At least that is something I didn't take from her this time. Because Rainbow Fine Art does have a very different color palette than I have, I messed up her shading at the side a little bit, and funny enough, basically that was what made me have to do 4 or 5 layers, because I had to get rid of that shading and make it a bit more lighter again. But otherwise, her repaint worked quite nicely, quite fast, and was quite quickly at a point where I thought, girl, you look nice. I don't know exactly what it is. It might be just that the area of England where Rainbow Fine Art lives is a little bit more southern than the part of Germany where I live, and it is a bit of a different climate, is a bit warmer, drier, whatever, but each time I'm over, my repaints come out that much better. But anyway, I was very, very happy with the results of her repaint. In the end, I think she ended up adorable. I decided to give her some freckles and some beauty marks, and yeah, I really do think she turned out adorable. But I would be very interested what you think, if you like her as much as I do. Then, after the repaint was as done as possible, I decided to give her some daisies again. First I thought to do some colorful flowers, but with all the colors already going on in her skirt and whatsoever, I thought just give her green eyeshadow to represent a meadow and some daisies. Just so she looks cute, even though it's basically the same she already had going on. And I did the daisies just with a dotting tool, so they are just one yellow dot and 5 white dots around it to have it very simplified, but I think it was quite effective. Then I tried to give her eyes a bit of a highlight, which I had to correct multiple times. It was highly annoying. But in the end, it was okay. After that was dry, I sprayed her for a final time. Then glued in some lashes, glossed her eyes and her lips, and she was more or less done. I did decide, because I wanted to see how she looks when everything is together, to dress her while still being in England. Which means I needed to do her hair. And normally I think I would have boil washed her hair into position, but because I didn't want to put water everywhere when it's not my living room, I used a hairdryer to basically heat her hair in place. And then I gave her 2 pigtails. In my original idea, I wanted to do some egg-shaped buns in the back, but the pigtails looked so damn cute that I couldn't get over how cute she was with those pigtails. So yet again, I cop out and do the easiest hairstyle. And then I remembered last minute that I had her wearing gloves in my original sketch. So I painted her hands white and just made a kind of ruff out of some of the broderie anglaise. And no, I'm not making fun of French here. Just to say it. I think it just sounds funny. Anyway. Funny in the context of the rest. Just to make that clear. Anyway. I painted her hands, glossed them, glued the ruffs on, and then I squeezed her into a tub to get her over to Germany again. Speaking of being back in Germany, I obviously had to do some more accessory stuff for her. I wanted to give her a basket full of eggs, and I found these little fake eggs that were adorable. I glued them onto wooden sticks and painted them, and then I made out of plastic eggs a archway for her and a basket holder, and in the end I gave her a painting station and everything. Anyway, that is what you see me making in the background. But what I wanted to talk about, everything I filmed over in England, I filmed with my new mobile phone. Everything I film in Germany, so basically what I'm filming now, I filmed with my camera. Do you see a big difference between the two areas? I will watch this video or these parts of the video myself as soon as it's posted. But so far in the small version I see now, I don't really see that the phone is that much better or that much worse. I would like to know what you think. Anyway, I first tried to build the archway without a core. I regretted that quite quick, and I then broke everything apart again and put a skewer in the center of the whole eggs before having them in place. Even though then, while I took pictures, it fell apart again. But the pictures were another theme. But yeah, I made an archway for her. I decorated a stand for her because I bought cheap plastic stands that I want to start decorating for each doll. So each doll has their own stand. And yeah, then I made a basket holder. I made a holder for the unpainted eggs out of unpainted eggs. I made so much stuff. And, you know, she will only be on display for a short time and then live in a box forever. It's such a shame, but anyway, I was quite happy with all the stuff I made for her, and I think it was adorable, and I'm happy about it. And yeah, then I went outdoors to take some final pictures of her, and I kid you not, because obviously the eggs are hollow, and even though I gave them a stand to have a little bit of support for them, it all was far too light, so the wind toppled everything over. And when I just tried to take pictures of her and the archway, it was okay, but gosh, I was so fed up as I tried to take pictures of everything I made. So in the end I decided the last picture had to be taken inside because I was so frustrated. I spent, I think, 2 hours outdoors, and all the time something was collapsing, falling over, breaking apart. I was so fed up with it in the end. Oh yes, and my camera decided that its display didn't want to show me what I want to see. Again and again. It was a disaster. So the pictures are not the best ones, but anyway. So, this was my journey with my first Easter doll, and possibly my last Easter doll, I don't know yet. But I hope you enjoyed it. I wish you a great time if you celebrate it or not. And yeah, let me know what you think about her in the comments down below. I now decided, by the way, she is called Tara, after Ostara. And yeah, I'm highly interested in what you think about her. Let me know in the comments down below, and we will see us in another video. Until then, bye.